guys, recovering perfectionist here. I know the struggle is real. That nagging voice in your head telling you things have to be perfect. But guess what? Perfectionism might actually be a sneaky way your subconscious mind's trying to help you feel safe. Crazy, right? In this video, we're going to shine a light on the subconscious behavior that's holding you back. We'll talk about how to overcome it and achieve success with less stress. Think of it as a guide of ditching the perfectionist monster and unlocking your true potential. So let's dive deep into the world of perfectionism. Shiny object syndrome. Ever heard of shiny object syndrome? It's this thing that perfectionists often get caught up in. It's a sneaky form of procrastination. At first, it seems like you're being super productive. You're always busy, planning like there's no tomorrow, studying up a storm, and getting ready for everything. But here's the catch. You never quite finish what you've started. You get about 80 to 90% completion, and then boom, you're off chasing the next shiny object that catches your eye. And guess what? You never actually finish anything. It's like you're stuck in this eternal cycle of working on it, but never getting to that satisfying point of saying, yep, it's done.
It's done! It's finally done!
So let's take a look at why and how this happens. The illusion of productivity. You know how perfectionists are always aiming sky high because you're scared of messing up or getting criticized? Well, instead of tackling the real stuff, you dive into endless prep or busy work. It kind of tricks you into thinking you're super productive. Like you spend hours perfecting every little detail, thinking it's totally worth it because, hey, you've got high standards, right? But here's the kicker. All that prep and fuss is often just a fancy cover-up for procrastination. The big, tough tasks you're avoiding, yeah, they're still sitting there, untouched or only half done. It's like you're stuck in this loop where you're busy all the time but never really getting to the heart of what needs doing. The fear factor. At the heart of all this excessive planning is a big looming fear. Fear of messing up, fear of not measuring up, fear of being judged.
You're not good enough.
By constantly planning, you perfectionists can sidestep confronting this fear head on. It's like your subconscious is trying to protect you because if you never finish, you never have to face the possibility of falling short or getting criticized. That fear can be pretty daunting, to the point where you'd rather keep planning endlessly than risk finishing and feeling exposed. Analysis paralysis. So you're a perfectionist. And there's this thing where you might spend way too much time just digging into stuff, thinking super hard about all your options and trying to guess every single thing that could happen. This whole getting stuck because you're overthinking is actually because you're scared of messing up or not doing something just right. The funny part, all this trying to pick the best move or result usually ends up with you not making any choice at all. It's like you get lost in your own head with all that overthinking and then boom, you're stuck in indecision city. The endless quest for perfection. If you're someone who always wants things to be perfect, you might find it tough to settle for good enough. If it's not 100% perfect, it feels like a total flop to you, right? This makes you plan and prepare like crazy over and over again. You're always on this mission for perfection, which makes it super hard to ever think something that you've done is totally finished. There's always that little voice inside your head saying you could do more, or this tiny bit could be better. This way of thinking, it can lead you to put things off, feel super tired and not really happy with what you've achieved because you never really stop and enjoy what you've done. Hamster on the hamster wheel. So if you're feeling like a hamster running on a hamster wheel, you're not alone, because this is exactly what is happening. But self-awareness gives you self-control. Once you are aware of your self-sabotaging behavior, you have just raised your subconscious behavior into your consciousness, giving you control. Once you are conscious of your self-sabotaging behaviour, you can choose to change it. Introducing a new perspective. Here's where I want to flip the switch. If you're feeling trapped in this cycle, I want to present a paradigm-shifting solution. 70% perfect is perfect. 100% perfect is failure. Now, if this statement triggered some resistance in you, that's okay.
It's too triggering.
In fact, that reaction is to be expected from a perfectionist because I'm challenging your subconscious beliefs. Exploring the solution. This statement isn't just a catchy phrase or a liberating philosophy that emphasizes progress over perfection, functionality over flawlessness. It's about understanding the law of diminishing returns, where beyond a certain point, the effort to achieve perfection yields little to no additional benefit and can indeed become a hindrance. For someone who always wants everything to be just right, think that 70% is actually good enough can open up a whole new world. It means you can be creative, try new things, and not freak out over making mistakes.
I'm freaking out!
It gets that being perfect is pretty much impossible, and chasing after that 100% all the time can leave you feeling down and like you're not good enough. Saying yes to 70% gives you room to breathe, change things up, and it's way kinder to your mental and physical health, cutting down on stress and worry big time. Health consequences. Because chasing after perfection isn't just about struggling to hit some impossible standard. It can actually mess with both your mind and body in some rough ways. On the mental side, it can crank up your anxiety, stress, and even lead to feeling really down or think you're not good enough.
I'm not good enough!
This constant worrying about messing up, getting judged, or not living up to what you or others expect can totally wear you out. And it's not just your brain that takes a hit. Your body can suffer too. Ever find yourself tossing and turning at night?
I can't sleep.
Or dealing with headaches,
Plus I've got a splitting headache.
stomach aches, or other aches and pains, more often than seems normal. That could be the stress and worry from trying to be perfect, causing real physical problems. So connecting the dots between aiming for 70% and avoiding these health issues makes a ton of sense, right? It's like giving yourself permission to not be perfect can actually make you feel a whole lot better inside and out. This rule of thumb, that 70% is good enough, works for me to get me out of the fixed perfectionist mindset and into the growth excellence mindset. But maybe that's just me. So I'd love to know. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you're going to start implementing this technique into your life right away, or if you have any questions. I can't wait to chat with you in the comment section below. 70% is good enough. A lot of people think that perfection and excellence is the same thing, but they're actually pretty different in how they make us approach our goals and grow as people. Figuring out the difference between them can really change your outlook, how you feel day to day, and how well you do stuff. What made a big difference for me, moving from trying to be Miss Perfect to aiming for excellence, was to chill out on expecting everything to be 100%. Because, let's be real, that's not going to happen. And start being okay with getting things to around 70%. That's still solid, right? So a good rule of thumb for fellow perfectionists is 70% is good enough. I mean, trying to be 100% perfect actually means you're setting yourself up to fail. Why? Because being perfect all the time isn't something anyone can really do. It's like chasing a mirage. You can never quite reach it. When people try too hard to be perfect, they miss out on the chance to try new things, make mistakes, and learn from them.
You've got a point there.
Also, perfection isn't the same for everyone. What one person thinks is perfect, another might not. That means trying to be perfectly perfect doesn't really make sense. It's better to be okay with doing things well enough, around 70% perfect, because it means you're still doing a good job without stressing yourself out too much. It's like giving yourself a little break and making things easier on yourself. By being okay with not being perfect, by putting yourself out there, taking messy action, giving yourself the chance to learn and to grow, and if things don't go to plan, then remind yourself there's no such thing as failure, only feedback. Strive for excellence. So adopt a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset, and strive for excellence instead of perfection. Excellence is about doing your best and forgetting the rest, knowing that your best will differ from day to day, and that's okay. For example, you will naturally perform better when you're feeling good, as opposed to when you're feeling sick.
Just do your best, dear.
So to every perfectionist out there, I challenge you to embrace the 70% rule. Complete the project and allow yourself to be imperfectly perfect. Put your stuff out there, into the world. It's in this space that you'll find true growth, creativity, and perhaps, most importantly, peace of mind. Remember, 70% perfect isn't just good enough, it's perfect. Because in the end, it's the act of moving forward that truly defines success, not the unattainable idea of perfection. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And also, leave a comment below and let me know if you will start to implement the 70% is perfect rule. And I'll see you in the next one.